When I was 8 years old, my parents were out of town and my two grandmothers stayed with us, and they let me stay up and watch the Academy Awards. And when I saw people getting those gold statues, I said to myself, I want one of those. Embarrassingly, when I got nominated for American Beauty, I heard from pretty much everyone I'd ever known in my entire life, and they all said, "You told me you wanted to win an Oscar." I was like, oh my God, was I telling everyone? But I'm a big believer in manifestation, so I think it worked in this case. It is always difficult getting queer content made. It's difficult getting content for any underrepresented communities made in Hollywood. The first movie I produced was The Flintstones, and Steven Spielberg, who was really my boss at the time, he came to the set. He said, "I found the next movie for you to produce," and he handed me the script to Tu Wong Fu, "Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar." That was really the beginning of my ability to tell queer stories on screen and on television, and then, blissfully and thankfully, from Milk to When We Rise to others, I've gotten to tell a lot of those stories over the years. My latest project is called Rustin. It's about Bayard Rustin. He was Martin Luther King's right-hand man. The March on Washington was his idea. The civil rights movement would not have been what it was without Bayard Rustin, and people don't know about him. The reason why people don't know about him is because he was openly gay in 1963. The hope is that when this film comes out, Bayard Rustin himself and also the story behind why he got lost in history will now be known going forward. Most of my activist life, I had thought about LGBTQ equality and how extremely important that was for our community and our rights. But once we had our daughter, I realized that there's even a larger community of LGBTQ families that need a very specific set of rights and a very certain set of protections. So I think there's nothing more important than the work that Family Equality is doing. Home now to me means family. The happiest times of my life are the three of us. My husband, Gabe, is brilliant and beautiful. We met about 20 years ago, and I just knew that he was the one. We'd maybe been boyfriends for a week or two when we discussed that we both wanted kids, so that was always a dream and plan of ours. We both agreed that adoption really resonated for us. We just felt that we were in this incredibly lucky, fortunate situation to provide a home. We really felt that we wanted to adopt, and it led to our beautiful daughter, Ilaria.
It is exactly the way that it was supposed to happen. The chances of our family coming together the way it did were 1 in a gajillion trillion.
The best thing about having two dads is probably that it's really different and unique. Having two dads that are so different, but yet they love me exactly the same and so much at the same time. I'm just so proud of you, and I love you so much.
Parenting is definitely the hardest job I've ever had, but I think that's, part of the point and part of the joy. If I had to choose between filmmaker, activist, and father, I would pick father first, but under objection that I would refuse to choose, because I feel like those three things are so much the fabric of who I am. I feel so fortunate and so blessed that I have these three things that define me.